Canada's population shrank last quarter, but these 10 towns are growing faster than ever. Number 10. Sylvan Lake, Alberta. 30 minutes west of Red Deer, population climbing steadily as families from Calgary and Edmonton discover lakeside living at Alberta prices. The town wraps around a lake that serves as one of central Alberta's main summer recreation destinations. No provincial sales tax, home prices well below Calgary, and a commute to Red Deer shorter than most Toronto commutes. Sylvan Lake is one of those towns people visit for a weekend and start looking at real estate listings before they leave. Number 9. Cochrane, Alberta. 20 minutes west of Calgary near the Rocky Mountain foothills. Population climbing for years, and the town has invested heavily in schools and community infrastructure. Benchmark prices around $715,000, higher than many Alberta cities but still below Calgary proper. Families who want mountain proximity without Canmore or Banff prices consistently land here. Limited inventory means when demand spikes, prices move fast. Timing matters more here than in larger markets. Number 8. Squamish, British Columbia. Between Vancouver and Whistler on the sea-to-sky highway. Magnet for outdoor enthusiasts, remote workers and young families looking for BC lifestyle at a relative discount. Prices still high by national standards, but meaningfully lower than Vancouver. The town has invested in infrastructure, transit and community services. Population growth rapid. Squamish proves even in expensive BC there are pockets of real momentum. The risk is it follows the Kelowna pattern where demand outpaces local incomes. But right now the growth feels organic. Number 7. Moncton, New Brunswick. Bilingual job market. Home prices around $374,000. Economy runs on logistics, healthcare and call centres. Interprovincial migrants from Ontario arriving steadily for 3 years. New Brunswick benchmark prices up 4.5% year over year. Moncton driving a lot of that. Large enough for real infrastructure, small enough that your dollar goes much further than any Ontario or BC city of comparable size. Number 6. Okotoks, Alberta. 20 minutes south of Calgary, population around 39,000. Homes selling in roughly 44 days, buyers paying close to full asking price. Water-smart growth strategy keeps development controlled, preventing oversupply. Controlled growth means stable values. Less room to negotiate, but more confidence your home holds value. Number 5. Lethbridge, Alberta. Over 1,600 residents from interprovincial migration alone in 1 year, 4th highest gain in the country. For a city of about 110,000, that growth rate is significant. Agriculture, healthcare and education anchor the economy. University of Lethbridge keeps a younger population cycling through. Home prices well below the Alberta average. Alberta's no PST advantage applies to every purchase. Lethbridge has been on affordability lists for years. The shift now is that it's not just affordable, it's actively growing. But the number 1 spot on this list isn't a single town, it's a corridor, and it's the hottest real estate story in Canada right now. Number 4. Airdrie, Alberta. Surged past 112,000 residents, up from just over 100,000 the year before. Growth rate among the highest in Canada. Sits just north of Calgary. Home benchmarks around 644,000. Schools, recreation centres, shopping and transit connections have all expanded. No longer feels like a bedroom community, feels like a city that happens to be next to a bigger one. For families from Ontario or BC looking for space, price and lifestyle, Airdrie consistently tops the shortlist. Number 3. Dieppe, New Brunswick. Sits right next to Moncton and has actually been growing faster. Invested heavily in French language services, education, parks and community infrastructure, attracting young families from Quebec who want bilingual communities outside the province. Also pulling families from Ontario who see Atlantic Canada as the last affordable frontier. Home prices well below national average. Growth here is organic, not speculative. That kind tends to be more sustainable and less likely to create a bubble. Number 2. Halifax, Nova Scotia, biggest beneficiary of Atlantic Canada's migration wave. Young professionals, remote workers and retirees from Ontario pouring in for 3 years. Economy genuinely diversified across military, tech, healthcare and education. Dalhousie University and several other institutions keep a young population flowing through. Prices climb significantly, but still more affordable than any major city in Ontario or BC. Risk is growth outpaces infrastructure. Roads, transit, healthcare and housing supply all need to keep up. If they don't, Halifax loses the affordability advantage that attracted people. But right now, momentum is real and accelerating. Number 1. The Alberta Growth Corridor from Edmonton to Calgary. This isn't one town, it's a pattern. The entire corridor from Edmonton south through Red Deer, Airdrie and into Calgary is experiencing the most concentrated population growth in the country. Alberta gained over 26,000 interprovincial migrants in 1 year. Edmonton overtook Calgary for the highest net gain. No provincial sales tax, no land transfer tax. Provincial GDP expected to grow 2.6%. Every economic metric points in the same direction. Jobs, housing that's still relatively affordable, a tax structure that puts more money back in your pocket, lifestyle access to the Rocky Mountains. No other region in Canada checks as many boxes simultaneously, but growth isn't always good. Infrastructure lags behind population. Schools overcrowd. Healthcare wait times increase. Affordable cities can become expensive ones within a few years. The smartest move isn't always following the crowd. Sometimes it's getting there just before the crowd arrives. Which booming town has your attention? Drop it in the comments.